Today we are diving deep into one of the most powerful stories ever told, The Deal with the Devil. You know the one. It's all about ambition, power, and what someone is willing to give up to get it all. And that question right there is what drives the whole idea of the Faustian Margen. It's this timeless story about temptation and, of course, the consequences. But you have to wonder, how did a tale from 16th century Germany become this huge global thing? Well, to figure that out, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning. So, to really get how this story traveled the world, we have to start where it all began, in 16th century Germany. This is where the original blueprint for this kind of diabolical pact was first laid out. The very first version of this deal from the German Faust book was super direct. I mean, there was no gray area at all. It was a straight-up moral lesson, a cautionary tale. The message was simple. You can have the entire world, but the devil gets your soul. End of story. The trade was pretty straightforward. On one side, Faust got, well, everything. We're talking forbidden knowledge, all the earthly pleasures you can imagine, and even supernatural powers. But the price was absolute. It was non-negotiable. He had to completely surrender his soul the moment he died. You know, a really good way to think about this is like a dangerous high-interest loan, seriously. Mephistopheles is kind of like the ultimate cynical banker. He offers you all this amazing stuff right now, but the collateral he asks for is your soul. It's a powerful way to frame that classic struggle. Do you take what you want now, or do you worry about the eternal consequences? For a long, long time, this was just a simple, scary story. But then, one writer came along and completely flipped the script, turning it into this complex psychological journey that could connect with anyone, anywhere in the world. And that writer was Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. His incredible play, Faust, did something absolutely revolutionary. He took the fight from an external spiritual battlefield, man versus demon, and he moved it inside, into the protagonist's own mind. And his secret weapon for doing this? He completely reinvented the character of Mephistopheles. This is where Goethe's real genius shines. His Mephistopheles isn't just some one-dimensional bad guy. Oh no, he's a devilish tempter for sure, but he's also this incredibly witty cynic who questions everything we think is virtuous. He's a psychological foil who literally mirrors Faust's own inner darkness, and through all of this, he becomes an explorer of humanity itself. And that shift, that's the whole key. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about avoiding hell anymore. It became this deep dive into our own minds. Mephistopheles became this powerful symbol for all the inner conflicts, the desires and the moral gray areas that live inside every single one of us. Okay, so because the story was now about our inner demons, it became portable. You could pick it up and plant it in totally new cultures, and it would still work. And the Polish legend of Pan Twardowski is a perfect example of this in action. So who exactly was Pan Twardowski? Well, the basic idea is going to sound really familiar. He's a scholar from Polish folklore, and yep, he makes a pact with the devil for knowledge and magic in exchange for his soul. Now, the story is full of local Polish myths and cultural flavor, but the foundation, that is pure Faust. And when you put them side by side like this, the connection is impossible to miss. The structure of the deal is the same. The character's role in the story is the same. The legend of Twardowski basically proves that this theme is so strong, you can pull it out of Germany and replant it in a completely different cultural soil, and it'll just keep on growing. Which brings us right back to Goethe. By turning the conflict inward, he created what you could almost call a universal grammar of temptation. He made the devil a symbol of our own internal struggles. And that's something people can understand no matter where they are, from Germany to Poland to anywhere else on the planet. So all this brings us to the big question, right? Why are we still so fascinated by this story? Why does a centuries-old tale about a deal with the devil still have such a tight grip on our imagination? I think this quote just nails it. The real power of this story isn't supernatural at all. It's psychological. The tempter, the devil figure, he acts as a kind of mirror, reflecting our own ambitions, our own flaws, and our toughest moral choices right back at us. And in the end, that's why this story sticks around. It's not actually about a literal devil. It's about us. It's become this timeless template for exploring all the profound choices, the big and small bargains we make that really define what it means to be human. And that's really what the legends of Faust and Twardowski leave us with. They push us to look in that mirror, to confront the bargains we make in our own lives, and they leave us with that one single provocative question to chew on.